Is this a narcissist word salad? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Let's start with understanding what is a word salad. Essentially, it can be broken down into two different aspects. A word salad is a confused or unintelligible mixture of seemingly random words and phrases. But what causes it? Well, on the one hand, it is as a consequence of a neurological or mental disorder. For instance, it could be seen with dementia or schizophrenia, where a person attempts to communicate an idea, but words and phrases that appear to be random and unrelated come out in an incoherent sequence instead. The words may or may not be grammatically correct, but they are semantically confused to the point that the person listening cannot extract any meaning from them. Accordingly, the individual thinks that what they are saying is correct, but anybody listening to it essentially thinks that it's gibberish. This is essentially because there is a neurological issue that is prompting that incoherent word salad. That's one version of it. The other is the narcissist word salad, where again it is an unintelligible mixture of seemingly random words and phrases, which when you hear some of the words, you understand what they mean, but the whole of what you're hearing doesn't seem to make any sense whatsoever. And the narcissist uses a word salad, as you know by now, in pursuit of the prime aims. Now, the unaware narcissist does not think, I know, I need to get control and fuel, so I'm now going to just spout a load of nonsense. They believe that what they are saying is accurate, makes complete sense. And if you say, that's just nonsense, that doesn't make any sense, you're naturally threatening the narcissist's need for control, and the narcissist will be dismissive. Well, you clearly can't understand me because you're stupid. Well, it makes sense to me. Are you being deliberately obtuse? Perhaps I'm putting it in a way that is just too difficult for you to understand because you're hard of understanding, and you're likely to be insulted if you point out to that person that what they are saying doesn't make any sense. Invariably, what will happen when you're in the receipt of a narcissist word salad is that you will attempt to make sense of it. You will try and break it down. What do you mean when you say this? But you've just said that, and then you said this, and the two things don't work out. They don't link together. Why are you saying that? And unfortunately for you, because you don't realize that you're on the receiving end of a narcissist word salad, you get drawn in to a further discussion, giving more fuel to the narcissist and ultimately succumbing to the need for control. The narcissist naturally utilizes the word salad as a manipulation which is designed to seek the prime aims, principally control over you and fuel. The narcissism selects the word salad on the basis of essentially looking to confuse and bamboozle you so that you give up and back down. It's often done in a way whereby the narcissist looks to appear intellectually superior to you, utilizing a mixture of words whereby if you fail to grasp what is being said, and you always will because it's a word salad, the narcissist can just dismiss you on the basis that you're dumb, that you're stupid. Accordingly, the word salad is this confused, intelligible mixture of seemingly random words and phrases. On the one hand, its origination can be as a consequence of a neurological disorder such as schizophrenia or dementia, and then on the other hand, it is utilized by a narcissist for the purposes of the pursuit of the prime aims. I'm going to read to you two excerpts from a famous individual. I'm not going to say who it is. For you to determine, are you listening to a narcissistic word salad? And the options are, is this the utterings, the writings of somebody that just has a neurological disorder, that they might experience dementia or schizophrenia, and it's that kind of word salad? Or is this a narcissistic word salad that you're listening to? Or is it simply the case that if you don't get it, might it just be, and this can be the case, that what this person is writing is something that's just beyond your comprehension, and it is not actually a word salad you simply don't understand? And there's no shame in that being the case. There are some people that convey topics in a manner which it is difficult to understand because they use esoteric language. As you know, the narcissist will hide behind the word salad by telling you that you don't understand. But as part of this exercise, I'm wanting you to try and determine whether what I'm about to read to you is a word salad that comes from a neurological disorder, a word salad that comes from a narcissist, or not a word salad at all, and you either understand it, and you might, or if you don't get it, then that just might be as a consequence of the use of esoteric language and an intellectual shortcoming on your part. Those are the options. Neurological disorder, narcissistic word salad, you understand it, or you don't understand it, and the reason you don't understand it is nothing to do with it being a word salad. Those are the options that are available, and I'd be interested to receive your observations in the comments section. Here is the first passage for you to listen to. You might also want to consider, who do you think it is that has written this? Procedural knowledge generated in the course of heroic behaviour is not organised and integrated within the group and the individual as a consequence of simple accumulation. Procedure A, appropriate in situation 1, and Procedure B, appropriate in situation 2, may clash in mutual violent opposition in situation 3. Under such circumstances, intrapsychic or interpersonal conflict necessarily emerges. When such antagonism arises, moral revaluation becomes necessary. As a consequence of such revaluation, behavioral options are brutally rank-ordered, or less frequently, entire moral systems are devastated, reorganized, and replaced. This organization and reorganization occurs as a consequence of war in its concrete, abstract, intrapsychic, and interpersonal variants. In the most basic case, an individual is rendered subject to an intolerable conflict as a consequence of the perceived effective incompatibility of two or more apprehended outcomes of a given behavioral procedure. In the purely intrapsychic sphere, such conflict often emerges when attainment of what is desired presently necessarily interferes with attainment of what is desired, or avoidance of what is feared in the future. Permanent satisfactory resolution of such conflict, between temptation and moral purity, for example, requires the construction of an abstract moral system, powerful enough to allow what an occurrence signifies for the future to govern reaction to what it signifies now. Even that construction, however, is necessarily incomplete when considered only as an intrapsychic phenomena. The individual, once capable of coherently integrating competing motivational demands in the private sphere, nonetheless remains destined for conflict with the other in the course of the inevitable transformations of personal experience. This means that the person who has come to terms with him, or herself, at least in principle, is still subject to the effective dysregulation inevitably produced by interpersonal interaction. It is also the case that such subjugation is actually indicative of insufficient intrapsychic organization, as many basic needs can only be satisfied through the cooperation of others. There you are, your first excerpt. Are you wanting to go and wrap a curled towel around your head thinking, what on earth was that? And if so, do you think that was from somebody that's got a neurological disorder, schizophrenia for example? Or do you think those are the words of a narcissist issuing a word salad to look clever and to assert control and draw fuel? Or are you sat there thinking, no, HG, that all made sense to me, actually, not a word salad at all? Here's another bit, a shorter bit. Law is a necessary precondition to salvation, so to speak. Necessary but insufficient. Law provides the borders that limit chaos and allows for the protected maturation of the individual. Law disciplines possibility and allows the disciplined individual to bring his or her potentialities, those intrapsychic spirits, under voluntary control. The law allows for the application of such potentiality to the task of creative and courageous existence, allows spiritual water, controlled flow into the valley of the shadow of death. Law, held as an absolute, however, puts man in the position of the eternal adolescent, dependent upon the father for every vital decision, removes the responsibility for action from the individual, and therefore prevents him or her from discovering the potential grandeur of the soul. Life without law remains chaotic, effectively intolerable. Life that is pure law becomes sterile, equally unbearable. The domination of chaos or sterility equally breeds murderous resentment or hatred. Neurological word salad, narcissistic word salad, or not a word salad, but you don't understand it, or you grasp it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section to see if you believe this is a narcissistic word salad, and also as to who you might think is the writer. I look forward to seeing your observations. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.